All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. I know I kind of announced this to my list and to my group. So if you're tuning in, give me a live in the comments if you are live. If you are tuning in the replay, give me a replay, and I would love to say, hey. So just so you guys know, I'm doing this from my page and sharing it into my group. So if I don't, I'm going to be switching back and forth between the two areas. So if I don't respond to your comments immediately, I'm going to pause after like each point I make and go back and look at the comments, okay? So I will respond. You just got to give me a minute to switch between the two platforms. I didn't truly think that through the entire way when I said I was going to do this, but I'm excited to be here with you guys today. So let's dive in, okay? Yay! Hey, Lauren, nice to see you. Cool. And as you're tuning in, guys, if you're watching live, say live. If you're watching the replay, say replay, so I can say, hey, thanks for watching. Okay, so 4 ways I grew my business by 400% in 2017. And I'm a person, I believe in like full disclosure, especially because I do business strategy coaching, right? So I share my successes with you guys. I share my failures with you guys, and I share everything in between because I think that's fair, right? And I kind of teach and approach business strategy coaching from the standpoint that I've learned from it, and it's recent. This is recent. I recently scaled my business by 400%. So I'm talking about this now and like how I did this. So I teach kind of as I learn. So a lot of my clients are, doing similar things that I was doing like 3 or 4 months ago. So this is still really fresh in my mind, and that's kind of like my point of view. So if I were to do this live stream, I bet in a year, I bet it's going to be very different, because if I'm going to grow by 400% again, things are going to be done differently. So I just wanted to say that. Express that before we started today. So I want you guys to take out a piece of paper and a pen, okay? I have homework, or I have work for you to do while we are here together, okay? So first and foremost, before I was able to scale my business in the way that I did, I needed to actually sit down and figure out what the heck I wanted out of 2017. I think a lot of us, go into the new year thinking, yep, I'm going to have this amazing year, and we don't really put any intentions behind it. We don't say why. We set intentions. We say, hey, I want to grow my business by 400%. I want to have my first 100K in sales per year. But we don't really say like why and how. And I think that is a big hang up that a lot of us have when we goal set. So at the beginning of 2017, I actually did this like right before Christmas. So like kind of around this time last year, so 2016, I sat down and I got, hey Layla, nice to see you. I sat down and I got crystal clear on, glad to have you live, what I wanted. And I broke it down into 3 categories. And I totally took a ton of notes before I started today. So if I keep looking down, that's why. So I broke it down into 3 areas, okay? And so I want you to take out your piece of paper. You're going to start doing some work, okay? So I want you to break your goals down into 3 categories. Number 1 is business. Number 2 is personal. And number 3 is family. And it's not in order of priority. I just happened to be how I thought of it, okay? So what I wrote down for business goals is I established 3 goals within the business category, 3 goals in the personal category, and 3 goals in the family category, okay? So I'll share my goals with you. I have no problem doing that. The first goal in my business was 100K in sales, because I knew that would grow my business by 400%. So that's where I get that money from, right? That's where I get that percentage from. So in 2016, I had $25,000 in sales. In 2017, I am going to be closing on $100,000 in sales in like the next day. So we're there. It's going to happen. But what, and so I established that. I said, I want to grow my business by 400%. I want to hit a 100K in sales year. And I want to do this basically just to prove to myself that I can do this. Because guys, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know about how my business failed for years and years and years, and that I was the thing in the way of it from succeeding and all of that. So I just wanted to hit the number, quite honestly, to prove to myself that I could actually do it. So that was kind of the first motivator. The second thing is I wanted to launch a group program and I wanted to develop 2 courses. Third thing is I wanted to onboard a team. I knew that if I was going to have 400% of growth in my business, I couldn't do it alone. I knew that I would not be able to do this on my own, because none of us can do that type of growth on our own. No matter how amazing you are, no matter how much of an expert you are in your field, you cannot do that by yourself. So I knew I wanted to hire a virtual assistant. I knew I wanted to hire a copywriter. I knew I wanted to hire a Facebook ads agency, and I knew I wanted to hire a graphic designer, because those 4 things, I'm actually really good at that. I'm good at doing like the tasks in my business that a VA would do. I'm good at writing copy. I actually really like to write. I'm really freaking good at Facebook ads. I've kind of figured out a strategy that works really well for me. And I have a graphic design degree. I'm really good at graphic design, but because I'm really good at those things, they take up a lot of my time. And so I knew that time is going to be an issue. I know for a lot of us, give me some emojis in the comments if time is an issue for you. Time is a huge barrier for me because I have a kid. I have a husband that works crazy hours. I'm pregnant. I don't feel great all the time. And so like my time is really, 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 really valuable. So I looked into my business and those were like the 4 things I knew that I needed to outsource. Okay. Yes, Lauren, I feel you. I feel you. So the second category, personal, right? I am a recovering workaholic. If I could, I would work 16-hour days every single day. I legit love to work. But that kind of mentality takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your mental clarity. And it's not healthy, right? If we work all the time, like what's the point? So what I did is I established 3 goals within the personal area. Okay. So number 1 was I established really rigid work hours. So I work between the hours of 9:30 and 12 and 2:30 and 4. 2:30 and 4:30. Yeah. And I set those hours and I was completely ruthless with my time. My family knew that those are my times to work and that's how it was. That's what I did. And my clients knew that too. Like whenever I onboarded a one-on-one client, I told them up front, like, these are the times I work. So I will not respond to emails at 8 o'clock at night. I will not send you Facebook messages or Voxer messages. Hey, Grace, nice to see you. After 4:30 p.m. Like it's not going to happen. And what that did is it set really clear boundaries. And it also made me get really creative in how I worked. So it made me get really clear in like what I needed to do every single day. So it also facilitated some more quality time with my family, right? So personal was rigid work hours. The second thing I established my goal for the personal area is treating myself one time a month. So what this is I have a pinched nerve in my neck. And when it gets pinched or I get stressed, it pinches really hard and sends shooting pains like down through my hands. And it's terrible. It's terrible. I hate it. And so in my business, when I would get stressed, or even in my personal life, when I would get stressed, you know, that sort of pain would come on. And so I sucked it up and I bought a membership to a local massage spa. Yeah, a local massage spa. And so every single month, like it's auto drafted from my account, it's $50. I get an hour-long massage. And because it's auto drafted from my account, and I signed a contract, I can't get out of it, right? And so that's like the kind of personality I have is I have to be like forced to do things sometimes. And even though that's in my best interest, even though it's a medical thing, I wouldn't do it because I was like, I don't want to spend the money. I have that kind of mentality I fall back on sometimes. And so I treated myself to that once a month. Okay. And then the last thing under personal is I only buy clothes that I love. So I am completely guilty of being the type of person that goes to Target and buys like stuff because it fits and it's cheap. Or I go to Marshall's because it fits and it's cheap. And I don't love it. I don't love the clothes I'm buying, but yet I'm spending my money on them because like I need a shirt. So I committed to only buying clothes that I love. And I know that sounds silly, but when you wake up in the morning and you open up your closet and maybe it doesn't have a ton of clothes in it, but it has clothes that you love and you're excited to put on in the morning, you're like, I feel like a boss today. And that can be really, really helpful, right? So I only buy clothes that I love, and I don't buy things because they're on sale. But it being on sale is not the motivator for buying them. All right. And then the third category, family, I have 3 things in there. So I wanted more quality time. I wanted Fridays and Mondays to be my date days. So Tier, my husband, works kind of insane hours. He's a pastor. And so his schedule can be really weird. But generally, he has his mornings open. So on Fridays and Mondays, him and I make a point to do something together. It could be going to Starbucks. It could be going to a baby doctor appointment because they're always on Monday mornings these days. It could be going to get a slice of pizza for lunch. Whatever it is, I made that commitment to have a lighter day on Mondays and Fridays so that I could hang out with my hubs, because I think we all need to do that. And then the last thing kind of goes back to business is I wanted to pay down our debts. So I'm not saying we're like drowning in debt. I'm pretty sure we're fairly normal, but we have credit card debt and we have student loan debt. And it sucks. And I hate paying those bills every month. So I really made the commitment in 2017 to use my business as a facilitator to pay down debts. And they're not all gone yet, but we're working on it, right? So that kind of goes back to my business goal. But those are the 3 kind of areas that I set goals in. So I told you guys that this training today was going to be filled with lots of actionable to-do stuff. So this is your first one. I want you to take a minute. All right, get your pen and paper out. And I want you to establish one goal in each one of these areas. Okay, so we have the business goals, we have the personal goals, we have the family goals. Okay, I'm going to set a timer on my phone. Ready? Ready? All right, go. I'm going to sit here with you. And if you're tuning in now, say hi. So one goal in all 3 of those areas. "30 seconds. Hey, Antonia, nice to see you. No worries. You're like 15 minutes late. No big deal at all, Antonia. All right, you have 20 seconds. 10. All right. All right, so now you have your 3 goals in those 3 areas. You have one goal in those 3 areas established, okay? So I think that's really important for moving you forward in certain areas, because you can always go back to your goals and refer back to them and be like, am I doing this? Am I actually working towards this? Is this happening? I said I wanted to do this, but it's not happening now, so like why? So it's really good for like self-awareness, for just making sure that you're, keeping on track. So I would encourage you guys after this training today to go back through the business goals, the personal goals, and the family goals, and really elaborate on those and figure out what you actually want, okay? So in order to scale your business, in order for me to have scaled my business by 400% in 2017, I had to establish goals first. I had to figure out what I actually wanted, okay? So now that you have established some intentions, let's talk about the action, okay? I'm a big fan of establishing intentions. I'm a big fan of goal setting. I'm a big fan of dreaming big. But if there's no action behind that stuff, what's the point, right? There isn't any, okay? So the number one thing I did to grow my business by 400% in 2017 is automation. So give me a heck yeah in the comments if you have automation in your business. Give me a no if you don't have automation in your business. So I'll tell you the things I invested in and why I invested in them, okay? So number one is Kajabi. And Kajabi is a course hosting platform that I use to build courses. And I love it. Antonia says no, okay. Kajabi is more, yes, it's more expensive than Teachable or Thinkific or other platforms you might know of that I don't know of, but the back end of it is really easy to use. And I am a person that if things are easier for me, I'm going to pay a couple extra dollars for them. That's just kind of how I think about it. Kajabi is really straightforward and I like it. I tried Teachable, I tried Thinkific. They're great platforms. They work for a lot of different people. They just weren't what I needed and not what I wanted. So I invested in Kajabi. The thing I do like about Kajabi, I should say this. So Kajabi has a built-in feature that does reoccurring payments. So instead of me sending out like PayPal invoices every single month for my courses and my programs, Kajabi automatically drafts it from my account. And then if that or from the individual's account. So then if someone doesn't pay or, there's not enough funds or whatever happens, it locks them out of the course. And they handle all of that. So they send the emails, they do all of that saying, hey, your payment's due, what's the deal? They're the ones that follow up. I don't have to do any of that. And that was one of the big selling points for me with Kajabi, because that stuff, I don't know about you guys, that stuff drains me. I understand it happens. It's part of doing business. But I find it to be really, really draining. And it brings up negative thoughts for me in my business. And we do not need to have negative thoughts for ourselves in our business, right? Business is hard enough. Having negative things kind of coming up over and over again doesn't really work, right? So that's one thing I really like about Kajabi. Second thing I invested in is ConvertKit. So this is my email CRM. The lower model is $25 a month, totally worth it. I switched from MailChimp to ConvertKit in probably, I think, February of this year. And my open rates increased, my click rates increased, conversion rates increased, everything increased. Because it's a superior program, I'll be honest. The automation is really great in there. The sequencing, the tagging, the segmenting is really, really sophisticated. You get really, really detailed in the habits of the people on your email list. And that's really important. I really like ConvertKit. The third thing I invested in is Zapier. And Zapier, I didn't really understand the value of it, quite honestly, before I invested in it. So what Zapier does is it hooks different platforms to each other. So what you can do is, so this is the first thing I used it for. So I ran a masterclass in March. It was $27 a seat. So once you paid, what I wanted to happen is I made a PayPal button. Once you paid for that service, that product, you would then get an email from ConvertKit saying, hey, welcome to the masterclass. Here are the details for it, and get tagged a certain tag in ConvertKit. And I had no idea how to do that. I was like, okay, if I have 50 people register, I'm gonna have to go in and manually do all this stuff. And I had a business friend who was like, girlfriend, it's $25 a month. Here's how you do it. And she totally walked me through it. And ever since then, I've been hooked. I use Zapier all the time. There's lots of different things you can use it for, but what it does is it hooks different things to one another. And that's awesome. The fourth thing is Dubsado. So Dubsado is a project management software platform, for lack of a better word. I, quite honestly, right now only use it for contracts. So I write up all my contracts in Dubsado and they get sent. It looks very professional. Nobody can change anything. And they can do digital signatures. It's just like HelloSign or those other, DocuSign, those other things. I'm just using it for contracts. I really like it. It's really easy to use, and I like the way it looks. And looks for me are a big thing. And then the fifth thing I invested in is Zoom Webinar. And this is something I just was like, I'm not paying for this. I'm not doing this. So I run webinars 2 or 3 times a month. I love webinars. I love the live connection. I like chatting. I like teaching. I'm a former college art professor, so I love teaching people things. And I was just using Zoom in the capacity of sharing my screen, but it didn't look all that professional, let's be honest. And the back and forth conversation on your end, someone who was watching the webinar, it's not that sophisticated looking. So I invested in Zoom Webinar, and now I can broadcast with Zoom to Facebook Live. And so that's really cool because I can share screens and things like that. So that's kind of the fifth thing I invested in. And all those things, yeah, they cost money. They do. It sucks. Actually don't dislike paying it. But it's an expense in your business. But if it makes things easier, if it takes you out of your business, if it looks better, it's probably something you should consider investing in, okay? And you shouldn't be afraid, and this is kind of how I think about this, you shouldn't be afraid of investing in tools that make things easier for you in your business, because it's going to save you time in the long run. It's going to save you, frustrations and annoyances and just time. If it makes your life easier, it's going to be worth it, because you can take that time and devote it to doing revenue producing activities. So it's just a trade-off, okay? Hey, Jasmine, nice to see you. All right, so next minute task I have for you guys. Are you ready? I told you, again, actionable to-do items here, okay? So for the next minute, I want to know, what do you need to automate in your business? You know what you need to automate. Like, I don't need to sit here and tell you. So write down and brainstorm, what do you need to automate? Thanks, Jasmine, for all the hearts. What do you need to automate in your business? So, and what will that automation facilitate? So what will it do? How will it make your life easier? Okay? So you have 1 minute. Are you ready? Go. Yes, Jasmine, we need to automate the hair biz. I agree. We're working on it. So 1 minute, what do you need to automate? Write down what that automation will facilitate in your business. So it will facilitate peace of mind, will facilitate time, will facilitate you just not having to be in your business every single day. 30 seconds. $15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. All right, so that was the first thing. Second thing, I grew my email list from 1,000 subscribers to 5,000 subscribers. And that's some serious growth for your email list. I will be honest, I do not love list building. However, email marketing is king. You always hear about Facebook's algorithm changing. There's a new one that's apparently being rolled out right now, and everyone's all freaking out about it because everyone's afraid that their posts aren't going to get seen anymore. They're going to be demoted in the newsfeed. Instagram is changing everything. They're doing like the permanent story thing, like highlights. Like, there's a lot of changes that are going on in social media right now. And it's good. Things need to change, right? It's how we all grow as individuals. But we can't control that. We cannot control social media algorithm changes. What building your email list will do is it'll make your business algorithm proof, right? So instead of worrying about algorithms and getting in front of people organically and all this stuff, email marketing will prevent that for you. And email marketing, I don't care what anyone says, is king. If 20% of the people open up your emails, that's considered good. So let's think about this, okay? So I grew my list from 1,000 to 5,000. So right now, if 20% of the people open my emails, which is considered industry standard, that means 1,000 people are seeing my content. On a regular Facebook post, I have 12,000 people that have liked my, almost 12,000 people that have liked my Facebook page. I get like 100 people seeing my posts. So like, would you rather pour your time and your money into building your Facebook page, or would you rather pour your time and your money into building your email list? You should focus on building your email list because you cannot control what social media does, okay? And think about it like this also. If you have automation going on, so if you have people going through email funnels, if you have people, getting emails on automate. Like let's say you schedule your emails a month in advance. That's like 4,000-ish right now in my business. I have about 4,000 emails that get sent out every single day in between the different funnels, the mailing list emails, the launch emails, all this stuff that I'm not writing every single day. That's like 4,000 emails sending out every single day. It gets you visible without you actually being visible. So when you have those systems set up, when you're list building through Facebook ads or whatever you're doing to list build, Pinterest, whatever, Google ads, it gets you visible and it's on automate. You're not doing any of this actively. It's all set up in advance. And then the third thing it does is it gets qualified people on your list. So it gets people who would have never run across from you or never run across you ever, ever, ever. It gets them on your list. And it gets qualified people on your list. They can unsubscribe if they're not interested in what you're saying. They can do that for you. Or they can pay attention and listen up and convert into clients eventually down the road. So it's a great way for you to really get visible, to get warm leads in your email every single day, and to reach more people than social media. So I know list building isn't easy. It's not everyone's most favorite thing in the world to do, but you absolutely 100% need to be building your email list. You should not be spending your time on social media posts or social media, like Facebook posts or group posts or Instagram posts. That's not what you should be spending your time on. If you have limited time, like most of us do in this group, I would argue, email marketing is where it's at because of the conversion rates. And guys, a 20% conversion rate is considered, a 20% open rate for emails is considered good. My emails get around 40 to 50%. So if I'm at 5,000 people on my email list, that means 2,500, 2,000 to 2,500 people are seeing my emails every single day. So you need to list build and you need to be doing it often. All right, so the 1 minute, right? Ready? So the 1 minute thing we have is, what action can you do now to start building your email list more aggressively? You need to be aggressively building your email list. So what can you do right now to start doing that? What sort of action can you take? All right. So you have 1 minute. Ready? Go for it. Write that down. Camden, you need to go into your room and do quiet time. What? Where is your lightsaber? Okay, go get it. Nap strikes. All right, you have 30 seconds. What do you need to do now in order to aggressively build your list for the future? So many emotions. Thanks, guys. 20 seconds. Thanks, Nicole. Yes, my little guy is obsessed with Star Wars, and apparently he's not taking a nap. 5. Carrie, you're commenting as me. There we go. All right, so minutes up. Nicole, glad you can relate, Nicole. I'm glad you can relate. All right, so that's number 2. Let me actually, no, we'll deal with it. Okay, number 3, third way I grew my business by 400% in 2017. All right, this was not very prolific, but it made a big difference. So I became unapologetic in my viewpoints. And I was really, too funny, Carrie. It was a really kind of scary thing for me to do because I am a people pleaser. I don't want anyone to ever be mad at me. I don't want anyone to ever feel frustrated or have negative thoughts towards me, right? I think a lot of us are like that. Give me an emoji in the comments if you're like that too. You don't want to ruffle any feathers, right? You've had enough feathers ruffled in your lifetime. You don't want to have any more ruffling going on. If that's you, give me an emoji in the comments because that's totally me. Totally, totally, totally me. But what I realized happens when you unapologetically share how you're feeling is it polarizes your audience. And this is actually a really good thing. So it draws people to you and it repels people away from you. Yes, Grace. I'm done apologize consistently in 2018. Yes, Carrie, you know what I actually heard? I heard that women on an average say the words, the phrase, I'm sorry, like, I think it was like 75% more often than men, which is crazy, right? Crazy. Like, what are we so sorry for all the time? I found myself doing it on the phone the other day. I was talking to my OB and I was like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? Instead of just being like, girl, I didn't hear you. Can you say that again? You know, like, I don't need to say the words, I'm sorry. Like, I don't need to say those words. So when I became just really kind of unapologetic, I was also at this kind of like breaking point, quite honestly. I'd had a really crappy month. I had a month where I made like $2,000. And as grateful as I was for that cash, it didn't pay the bills that month. And it was kind of a big deal for our family during that month. And it was frustrating. And I thought I had, Layla, you always are, yes. I thought I was, doing all the right things. And so I typed up this email and I was just kind of like pissed off, quite honestly. I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? And I basically like laid it all out there for my email list. And I said, like, I was talking about investing in your business because I am still sick and tired of listening to women say, oh, I can't afford it, or oh, it's just not the right time. You can always afford something. It's always the right time. It's just a matter of that choice, right? And so I got super worked up about it, like I'm getting worked up right now, because I'd heard that excuse over and over and over again that month. So I sent out this kind of heated email to my list, and I was like, listen, by you not investing in your business, it's the reason why your business isn't moving forward. If you're asking people to invest in your business and you're not investing in your business, you're a hypocrite. And I totally just like laid it out there. And after I sent it, I was like, oh no, I did it. I sent it. And I got so much feedback from that email. People were like, Allison, I always thought you felt like this, but I've never heard you actually vocalize it. So I got a lot of like really like amen sister type of emails. And then I got the hate email, which is fine. I knew it was going to happen. I got emails with people saying that I was a jerk, that I had changed, that all this stuff. And I really like sat down and I had this moment and I was like, you know what? This is actually how I feel. On that email, I had like over 100 unsubscribes. The open rate was crazy, but the unsubscribe rate was also crazy. And usually on my emails, I hover at like 10 unsubscribes. So a considerable more amount of unsubscribes. And I posted it also in my group, and I got a ton of people leaving my group. And then I got a ton of people saying like, woohoo, way to say what I was thinking type of things. What it did is it really weeded out the people who were never going to buy from me, quite honestly. And in email, we pay for our email subscribers, right? So like when my list hit 3,000, I had to go up a level in ConvertKit. When I hit 5,000, I had to go up a level in ConvertKit. So they're actually doing you a favor, right? They're actually helping you out, helping things to cost less. And they actually help your email open rates to increase when people unsubscribe. Yeah, thanks, Grace. Because like we're paying for them. And if there are people that are never, ever, ever going to convert, there are people that are never going to buy from you. There are people that are never going to like refer you to anyone. You don't need them in your corner, right? You don't need them on your list. You don't need them in your group because they're just taking up space and energy, right? So it polarized my audience. I got the most feedback from it in a good way and in a bad way. And I want to talk about the bad feedback for a little bit. So before this email, before 2017 struck, that negative feedback would have wrecked me. I would have like taken days off. I would have just been like devastated from that. But I really took a good hard look and I was like, you know what, this is actually what I think. Like, this is what I believe. This is like a pillar in my business and how I think about things. So like, if they're not my people, they're not my people. And it's totally fine. It's 100% okay. You can be somewhat polarizing. It will draw people to you who are going to buy from you. And let's be honest, in our business, that's what pays the bills, right? People buying from you. Or it'll get people to move on. And that's fine. It's totally fine. And that's okay. It's healthy, actually. Okay? So next minute, ready? What I want you to do is focus on something that you've been holding back from sharing. And this could be, your failures, This could be your successes. Some of us are afraid of being too boastful or braggy by sharing our successes. It could be thoughts you've had, maybe things revolving around the coaching industry, because I know there's lots of thoughts around the coaching industry. What is something that you've been holding back from? You know that there's something in your life that you're not sharing, that you're not saying, that you're not verbalizing, whatever. So I want you to write down what's something you've been holding back from. All right? So you have a minute. Ready? 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 Go. "30 seconds. 15 seconds. 10. 5. 4. Perfect. All right. So the fourth thing I did to scale my business by 400% in 2017 is I hired and worked with a coach for an entire year. And this is something that was really terrifying. I will be completely honest. So the coach I worked with for 2017, I had been following her for about a year, you know, downloading all the freebies, attending all the free webinars, which you guys shouldn't be doing. And I was terrified when I enrolled with her. So I enrolled with her in February. So I launched a group coaching program in January, which was awesome. I loved it, but I was so burnt out. I was so grateful for the women that enrolled in that program, but I was so burnt out from that program, from that launch. I was feeling drained. I was like, if this is what launching feels like I never want to launch anything ever again. It was a terrible feeling. I was done. Quite honestly, I was done when that program was done, that launch. I had amazing clients. I was super grateful for the clients. I had my first 10K month. It was a big month for me. A lot of great things happened, but I really left the month feeling drained. And I was like, this is not how my business is supposed to feel. So I think it was February 1st, she sent out an email that she was doing this group coaching program. And I was like, all right, this is my chance. She gave an early bird special, it was a $2,000 purchase. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can do that. So I enrolled in the group coaching program. And I got really good results from the program. I think it was in April, I had my first 16K month. And it was the easiest 16K month ever. It was just clients came to me, paid in full. It was easy. And I was like, all right, this is how I want my business to feel. This is what I want. I want things to be easy for me. Who here wants things to be easy for you? Put heck yeah in the comments if you want things to be easy. We all want things to be easy, right? So those types of, I got some good results from her coaching, and she really helped me to kind of start diversifying things. So then I was like, all right, I need more. When the program was over, I was like, I got to continue this. I have to keep going. And I thought about hiring a different coach. I thought about just trying it on my own for a while. And I realized I wanted more of that coach, because what she was doing in her business, she's like me. She kind of teaches as she goes, right? So I'm teaching you guys how I just scaled my business by 400%. And so she kind of does the same thing, right? So it's not a year ago I scaled my business by 400%. I'm going to hit the 400. I'm at the 399.9 mark right now. So I'm teaching you this right now, right? I'm teaching you what I'm learning right now. So she does the same thing. So it's okay, we get that about each other. And what she was doing in that moment, in that time, was what I wanted. She was doing these webinars, she was doing these courses, she was doing these challenges, she was launching all these different programs. They were really diversified. And it really was what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Yes, Antonia, you want things to be easy, right? I wanted that for me and for my business. And so I hired her to work one-on-one with me. And generally, and I have this philosophy in my business, and this is kind of how I think about investing. I don't think that you should do the same thing over and over and over again with a coach. So like I had a group program with her, and then I had a one-on-one program with her, and they were both very different from one another. 2016, I did the same thing. I had a group program with a coach, and then I had a mastermind with a coach. So very different things, but similar viewpoints, right? So I knew that the reason why I hired her was because she was doing what I wanted to do. And I wasn't so far behind her that that wasn't like doable, you know? So I hired her, and the money was freaking hard. Her one-on-one, so the group program was $2,000, and then her one-on-one program was $10,000. And that I did not have $10,000 laying around. Like it wasn't happening. So I did a payment plan. So every single month I got a bill for $2,500 from her. And I did not have the resources to pay that bill. So I had to generate that income plus everything else for the month. And it terrified me, quite honestly. I was terrified of that bill every single month. And I don't want you guys to be like terrified all the time, but I do think there's something to be said for being scared and hungry in your business. Scared that it's going to fail because it makes you step up and do something, right? So like we always hear like those crazy stories about women who like lift their cars off their babies after like something happens, or like, you know, crazy like physical feats because of adrenaline and all that. But like that happens because you're scared. Like you take action when you're scared. When I first transitioned my business, I was terrified. It was December 2016, and I was terrified. I had just applied for food stamps for my family. My future was really, 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 really scary. So I did something drastic and bought a coaching program that program was $1,200, and that was a lot of money for me at the time. And it's still a lot of money, right? So that enrollment kept me scared and hungry, right? So going back to 2017, this coach kept me scared and hungry, kept me working, it kept me motivated, because I knew that if I didn't make that payment every single month, she wasn't going to work with me anymore. And I was failing. Like, you don't want to fail, right? You don't want to have that cycle of failure over and over and over again. It's a terrible, terrible feeling. It makes you feel like you're out of control. So it kept me scared and hungry. And it really helped me to keep blinders on and work on very specific areas in my business that I knew I wanted to improve upon. I had very specific goals for that coaching. And it was those goals that I just put my head down and worked on. And during my time with her, I had a $31,000 launch in July. I had consistent 10K months in those subsequent months. Like, I did some big things in my business during my time with her because it forced me to put my blinders on and get to work. And that was really important for me. And the one-on-one support I got with her is what I needed. I got support with her in the group program, but I knew I needed more. So I knew I needed to be able to go to a place and ask questions daily. I knew that I needed to be able to hop on the phone with her during our calls and ask specific questions because I needed that individual kind of accountability. And I am like the queen of like downloading all the freebies and attending all the free webinars. And guys, that doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us at all. If you guys are doing that, stop, because you're spending your time on things that you don't need to be doing, I would bet. So it really helped me to scale my business on my terms. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted from that program. So the fourth thing I did was I hired a coach and I worked with her for the entire year. So 1 minute, ready? This is what I want you to do. So for the next minute, I want you to write down on your notebook, like we've been doing, what areas of business do you know that you need help in? You hear the lightsaber? So what areas of your business do you know that you need help in? So I want you to make a list. Ready? I'm gonna set the timer. Go. Camden, you're supposed to be doing quiet time, baby. Yeah, babe.
Down the stairs, you're okay.
I'm perfectly fine. Thanks, big guy. Okay? You can draw upstairs. Okay. I'll be done in just a couple minutes, okay? All right. I love you.
No, you need to. You sit alone down. Sit down. We need the stairs to sit up.
Oh, go upstairs, please.
Silly.
Oh, so silly. Oy. 30 seconds. What, babe? You are Spider-Man. It's pretty awesome. Well, be careful, please. Please stop playing on the steps. Go upstairs.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, you guys have 5 seconds. Perfect. All right. So those are the 4 things I did to scale my business in Those are the 4 things I did to scale my business by 400% in 2017. So I want to know, number 1, if you guys have any questions. Number 2, I want to talk about Rise, because Rise is launching. The card for it closes on Friday, and I want to tell you guys about it. I think that if you're on this chat, if you're on this training, you're here for a reason, and this is what you're looking for. So Rise is my signature 16-week business strategy coaching programs. And guys, if you have questions as I'm talking, feel free to put them in the comments. I would be glad to answer anything you have. So 16-week business strategy coaching group program. I love Rise. My clients have gotten amazing results during their time in Rise. So I'll go through what you get with Rise, but I really want to talk about why you need Rise and the motivators behind enrolling in Rise. So the reason why I created Rise was to help women who have existing online businesses scale their business on their terms. Because I think a lot of times in the online space, which is no fault of our own, it's just how the industry works, we get taught marketing techniques maybe aren't the most genuine, right? They've worked in the past, that's why they're around. They've worked for other people, but we get taught these strategies, we get taught these systems, and they don't work for us. And it leaves us feeling really frustrated, and we're in this cycle of failure every single month, and it's not working, and you start to question yourself and your abilities and your doubts, and that is frustrating. Give me a 1 if you've ever been there. I'm going to put a 1 because I've totally been there. In the early part of my business, I was taught really spammy marketing techniques, and I never really got why it wasn't working. And it was because I never felt good doing it. I just thought it was me getting out of my comfort zone and, oh, this is a good thing. Like, oh, this is good. I need to get out of my comfort zone. But once I did it over and over and over again, and it still felt icky and it never got me results, I started to really question that. And so that's why I wrote the program Rise. That's why I do this group coaching program, is because a lot of us are taught these strategies that don't work for us. And if anything, your business needs to first and foremost work for you. If your business is not working for you, it's never going to work for anyone else. So even if you are successful on paper, even if you have a 10K month, or grew your business by 400% in 1 year, if it doesn't feel good, there's no point in it. So I created Rise to kind of fill that gap in the industry, and because I wasn't seeing this sort of type of support being offered for this specific niche. I see programs for early stage entrepreneurs, and I see programs for women who are making 6-figure years. I don't see anything for anyone in between. And so that's why I created Rise. So if you want automation in your business so that you can take a day off because you want to, or because your kid is sick, Rise is definitely for you. If you want to make consistent and predictable money every single month through multiple streams of income, Rise is for you. I don't want your business relying solely on you doing one-on-one services. I also don't want your business relying solely on you offering info products or courses. I want you to diversify your income, and Rise will help you to do that. And that's the way you make consistent money, guys. It's a numbers game sometimes at this point. You have these different offerings, you turn one on, you turn one off, you turn one on, you turn one off, and you can promote these things on Automate to give you consistent income every single month. If you want to hit your goals every single month, like if you have a goal, like a personal goal, like getting a massage every month, and it's an extra $50 or $100 every month, and you just haven't been able to do that every single month, I want you to enroll in Rise. If you just want more from your business, if you want to make more impact, if you want to make more income, if you want to take more time off, if you want more from your business, Rise is totally 100% for you. We will take your business, and I'm going to walk you through step by step every single week what you need to be doing in your business to scale and grow it on your terms. So with the 16 weeks of support, we get that via a Facebook group. You also get 12 modules. So the modules are these workbooks that have videos. They have like fillable. They're fillable, so you can walk through ideas and record your ideas. What they will do is they will help you to scale and grow your business and figure out exactly what you want in your business and figure out exactly what you need in your business and what areas you need to focus on. So to help you to identify your ideal client, it'll help you to run Facebook ads that don't cost you a fortune. It'll help you to figure out if your email funnel is actually converting, right? Or if it's actually successful. It'll help you to onboard team members so that you can scale your business. It'll help you to launch your programs well and on your own terms. So those are some of the things that we'll cover in the modules. In addition to that, you get 8 group coaching calls. They're 90 minutes long. The group is small. This is a big concern a lot of people have, so I'll address this now. The group is small. I'm not creating this big, massive group program because I want to be able to support you guys one-on-one. I want you to have a one-on-one feel when you leave this group coaching program. So the calls are 90 minutes long, and your questions will be answered on the call. And I really pride myself in making sure that I get to everybody and offer you actual strategy and one-on-one time. So you'll get coaching from me and you'll get coaching from the other women during our time together. And then the last thing you get are 3 outsourcing opportunities. So the first one is a mindset coaching session with Jessie Harris Beaton. She is an amazing mindset coach. She has 4 kids. She understands the whole mom thing and running a business thing. And the reason why I did that, why I included this in Rise, was because we can be our own worst enemy. As much as I can talk to you about mindset, I'm not a mindset coach. So I outsource that area in order to give you guys a better service and a better product. So you'll get a mindset coaching session with Jessie. You say hi. Yes.
I got 2 snacks.
All right. Go upstairs, please. Love you. You will also get your opt-in. So we're going to develop an opt-in. We're going to develop an email funnel. We're going to develop landing pages, all of that. So your opt-in is the first thing that someone's going to get from you when they become a new email subscriber. So if that thing doesn't look awesome, they're not going to think very highly of you. So you're going to work with my own graphic designer, Kimberly Costa, and she's going to help you design your opt-in. She's done work with Nickelodeon. She's done work with PBS Kids. She's awesome. I love her. She's such a good resource. So you get your opt-in designed by her, and you are also going to get the last thing is a copywriting session with the fabulous Aegean Thompson. And Aegean is a freedom business coach. She's phenomenal. She lives in Austin, Texas. She's like super cool. I don't know why she talks to me. She's like such a cool person. She's also a phenomenal copywriter. If you visit the sales page for Rise, she wrote the sales page for Rise. She writes all my sales pages for me, and she's great at what she does. So you will get a page on your website written by her. And what the value of copywriting, so I never really got it until I did it. So copywriting, guys, she goes in and talks to you about your ideal client and then about the service that you're going to be offering. And then she writes this epic sales page that speaks directly to them, like directly to them. The things that she can pull out and that the way she can say them are just like a talent that I just do not have and that a lot of us don't have. I never really got it until I did it. And then I did it and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going back. So I'm really excited to be able to offer those 3 things to you guys. They're each a $250 value, so that's $750 worth of outsourcing built into Rise. And every single one of you who enrolls in Rise will get that at this point in the launch. It's a great resource. So let's recap what you get with Rise. 16 weeks of support via a Facebook group, and you can, when you enroll in Rise now, you can get into that group now, so you can get more time in that group. 12 modules, 8 group coaching calls, 3 outsourcing opportunities. And guys, if you want to do big things in 2018, if you want to scale your business, if you want more from your business, if you want more income, if you want more impact, Rise is the answer for you. It will walk you through every single thing that I did in 2017 to bring my business to where it is now, to grow it by 400%. It'll walk you through the strategies, the tools, and then the group coaching calls will help you to make them applicable to you. And the Facebook group is a place where you can go in and get a daily accountability. You can get daily support in your business, which is unlike any group coaching program that's out there on the market. Rise will get you massive change in your business if you want it. If you want massive change in your business, Rise is for you in 2018. We start on January 1st. The cart for it closes on Friday. I introduced payment plans for you guys because everyone has these different things. So there's a one-time payment, there's a four monthly payment option, there's a 6 monthly payment option, and now there's a 12-month payment option. So you can take the entire year to pay for Rise if that's what you want to do, if that works best for you and for your budget. I know the holidays are a harder time for people to buy things. I get it. So that 12-month option really allows you to make much smaller payments to really get your business moving, guys, to get it up and going and where you want it to go in 2018. So thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, visit the sales page. You can type them in the comments below. You can send me a Facebook message. You can chat me through the sales page. You can do all kinds of things. So just get a hold of me. You guys know how to find me and ask away. I'm here to serve and here to answer any questions you guys might have. The cart closes on Friday at 11:59 p.m. So please make sure you get in by then because there are going to be no exceptions. And I'm not going to be running Rise in this capacity again in 2018. It's not going to be happening. I'm going to be having another kid. I want to go in a little bit more of a passive direction. And so this is the last time I will offer Rise as a live kind of program. So just know that going into it. If any questions, let me know. I'll talk with you guys later. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in Rise.